Now I'm sure most of us have heard of the late rapper Young Dolph, and for the people who don't know, let me tell you, Dolph was a Memphis legend. He rose to fame at a time when hip-hop music was transitioning from the powerful rap gatekeepers of New York City to now being dominated and controlled by a new sound rising up out the South. But as Young Dolph rose to hip-hop fame, so did his beef and tension began to escalate with other Memphis rappers who were real certified street niggas just like him. After Dolph survived nearly 100 shots aimed at his tour bus, it began to be clear that with Dolph's success and the more money he made, it led to more problems. They say people don't mind you shining until you start shining brighter than them. And eventually a rival group would soon hatch a plot to hire HITMAN to end Dolph's successful hip-hop career and to take the life of one of Memphis' most beloved and brightest star, Adolph Thornton Jr. But we all know him as Young Dolph. And today, we'll be taking a look at the punishment his killers got and how a Memphis judge is now ripping apart the alleged leader who ordered the hit. As most of us know, it all started on the afternoon of November 6, 2021, when pictures began to circulate of Young Dolph cruising his hometown of Memphis in his famously known camouflage wrapped Corvette. And it began to become clear to the streets that Dolph was moving around with no protection, without security. News got around quickly, and before you knew it, two masked men emerged out of a stolen Mercedes at the Makita Cookie Bakery where Young Dolph was shopping and opened fire, spraying the whole restaurant. Soon after, videos began to surface of Young Dolph unfortunately losing his life, and the streets began to ask, who would be bold enough to pull off a brazen murder attempt like this? The internet speculated that it had to be one of his rivals on a list of individuals who Dolph had a history of beefing with. But this is the part where things go left and the police begin to close in on those would-be assassins. The hitman would have got away with it, but shortly after the hit, police found a stolen white Mercedes-Benz behind the now infamous abandoned house that we all seen all over the news that would give investigators some major clues to help police quickly hunt down and catch Dolph's assassins. According to reports, two men, Justin Johnson and Cornelius Smith, were arrested and charged with taking Dolph's life, and a third suspect, who was a person of interest in the investigation, was mysteriously killed soon after in what police believe may have been retaliation or street justice from unknown assailants who loved the late rapper Young Dolph. And man, the Memphis streets is dangerous and they don't play out there. But with a string of evidence and two suspects now in custody, the Memphis police would soon track down the alleged leader who ordered the assassination. And would you believe this? Authorities say the leader lived in the same exact neighborhood, allegedly up the street from the house where they found the stolen Mercedes used to hit up Dolph. Police believe the ringleader who allegedly hired the hitman was none other than a man named Hernandez Govan, 43 years old, and indicted him on charges of first-degree murder, one attempt, and conspiracy to commit first-degree murder. And man, police believe this guy been plotting Dolph's assassination for months. He has a lengthy criminal history that stretches all the way back to the 1990s and has been in and out of jail on weapons and guns charges. After connecting all the evidence, police believe that he was the alleged leader who ordered the two suspected triggermen, Johnson and Cornelius, to shoot up Makita's Cookies where Dolph was visiting. But for some reason, and in a strange occurrence, a Memphis judge released this man on $90,000 bond, and the alleged ringleader of the murder plot was released from jail on May 11th, which led to outrage from many of Young Dolph's fans. How could they let a guy go who ordered the hit and lived on the same neighborhood where they found the vehicle used in the killing? And why was his bond amount so low for such a high-profile murder case? Fox 13 Memphis also says that this guy has even allegedly took trips on vacation since he bonded out. But right now, you're about to see exactly how Young Dolph's alleged killer got ripped by a judge in court.
A progress letter regarding your conditions of your bond and efforts that she's making to supervise you. I gave a copy of that to Mr. Durham, to his mom.
That's him right there.
She had given this about 2 weeks ago because she had some concerns. She's indicated that you're asking for some relaxed conditions on your bond, that you want some of the restrictions removed or want some of them lessened. And every time we come to court, Mr. Govan will get this request that says Mr. Govan is asking for other things. At first it started with, you wanted to go clothes shopping. I think my response was, you can have Amazon.com, yes, deliver your clothing. Yes, sir. You also wanted to go grocery shopping. I told you can call Kroger and they'll deliver your food to your house.
What?
And I also got a request that indicates that perhaps you want to be given the same consideration of some other folks, and that you think that you want to be permitted to go to work full time.
What?
Let's go down. You're on bond because all parties agreed to that. Those conditions were set by this court. Those were conditions that all parties agreed to, and I don't see any reason at all why this court should relax those conditions and tell Mr. Govan, we're going to let you go back to being a fully fledged person with no restrictions at all. Go to work when you want to, go shopping when you want to, leave the county when you want to, go to other places when you want to. Mr. Govan, you're on those restrictions for a reason. And part of those reasons is for your own safety. You are probably aware that Memphis, Shelby County, Tennessee is the first most violent metropolitan area in the country.
Come on now.
This case has generated a substantial amount of publicity. And if you're running around free in Shelby County, Mr. Govan, knock on wood, somebody might be trying to kill you, sir. So it is not in your best interest to say, Judge Coffey, take away all these conditions and let me just do what I want to, go where I want to. And there have been some instances where you were allowed apparently to take a couple of trips. That can't happen anymore. And that's a violation of your bond, Mr. Govan. So I don't know who gave you permission
vacations and everything
to take those trips to leave Shelby County. But unless you hear from Judge Coffey, don't say anything else. It cannot be done unless it is proved by this court, Mr. Govan. You understand that, sir?
Yes, sir.
And please, please, please stop asking Ms. Taylor, probation management group, if they can relax these restrictions or if they can do certain things or let you go shopping or let you get a job, because she doesn't have authority to do that. I think what Ms. Dorn will tell you is that, Mr. Govan, you should be blessed that you are on bond.
Damn.
The only other resolution for Judge Coffey is to put you back in jail pending disposition of these charges.
So this guy's on trial for murder, and while out on bond, he basically was asking the judge if he can allegedly order merch on Amazon, have packages shipped to his house, eat out at his favorite restaurants, work a full-time job, and basically live freely, having the same liberties, rights, and privileges of a normal free person. I mean, this guy is the definition of the term being given an inch and taking a mile. But if many of you were just as confused as I was on how a murder suspect could be released on bond in such an important case and in a dangerous city like Memphis, Tennessee, the answer is about to shock you even more.
Continuing that breaking news in young Dolph's case, Hernandez Govan, one of the prime suspects in the rapper's death, is now out of jail on a $90,000 bond.
Our Jarita Patterson was in court today and learned that new bond is based partially on new details of his possible role in the crime. District Attorney Steve Mulroy tells WREG young Dolph's family agreed to the bond setting. Hernandez Govan is the man the DA first said solicited the killing of rapper Young Dolph in 2021. Now the DA says investigators have learned more information in his case.
We've come into some information about Mr. Govan's role and medical conditions that make us think that this is the best resolution in order to get justice for the case.
So at the end of the day, the court cited safety and medical concerns as two of the reasons for the bond. That case is set to continue July 13th.
So it is unknown what that new evidence is, but whatever it is, the state of Tennessee wants to keep this guy safe so that he can stand trial for young Dolph's case. And apparently, there's some safety concerns about his safety in the prison and also out on the streets of Memphis. Look, this is not a game, ladies and gentlemen. And I offer my condolences to everybody's family who's involved, who's lost somebody to violent crimes in Memphis, Tennessee over the situation. Look, my thoughts and prayers are with Memphis. And look, it's getting worse out there, ladies and gentlemen, because allegedly news is spreading around right now. The rapper Black Youngsta's brother was shot and killed today at a gas station, shortly after the judge just chewed out Govan about his bond. There's no evidence to say that the two is connected, but I mean, I'm gonna be real with y'all. This video just was released from the court yesterday with Govan asking for more permission and more freedom in his bond, and the following day, rapper Black Youngsta's brother was gunned down in Memphis. So look, man, my respect and condolences to the families. It's a very unfortunate situation, bro. You know, this whole street violence, crime, gangsters type of stuff, man, it's a revolving cycle of death, destruction, get back, revenge, and at the end of the day, nobody wins, man. Everybody loses in this situation. Young Dolph was a very important impact on independent artists. He really inspired me and many other people to be an entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying, and to get it out the mud and make something out of yourself, no matter where you came from. His death impacted the entire music industry. We hope that this whole situation gets resolved because the city of Memphis needs it, hip-hop needs it, you understand what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, man, in our black communities, we really need to figure out how to stop killing each other. at the end of the day, man. It's a terrible loss. As the Bible says, no man knows the time or the hour when God's gonna call us home. So if you in the streets, if you in that gang life, the best thing I can tell you is get out while you can, because the streets don't love nobody. Look, guys, if you made it to the end of this video, you a real one. You understand what I'm saying? Make sure you like this video. If you learned something, share it, subscribe to the channel, support this channel, and show some love. It's your boy Kali, keeping it 100 always. And somebody gotta do it.